Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I'm just here to show you my latest work in progress. Sandra's cardigan, finished. I'm going to be wrapping it up and sending it off today. The 35-inch, another rosebud lace cardigan. I would try it on and show you on me, but it needs about another 7 or 8 inches to fit round me. So that's Sandra's cardigan, completely finished. And I'll be walking over to the post office probably as soon as I'm wrapping it up. It's 10:30 now. So I'll be walking over the post office by about 11 o'clock and get it into the post. So I will be back a little bit later with a bit more video. Well, I've had a walk over the post office. I've posted Sandra's cardigan off to her, so first class, so she should get it tomorrow, hopefully. If not, it'll be the next day. And I walked over to the post office and walked back, and I do it for I like to do so many steps. I have one of those things on, you know, the pedometer on my phone. And according to my phone, I did just over 2,000 steps going to the post office. You need to do 3,000 for it to be beneficial. But what I should do is when I walk around this house, because I do walk around a lot and up and down the stairs and everything, I should carry the phone with me and everywhere I go, and that would tell me how many other steps I do. But it is about a 15-minute walk to the post office, a slow walk, and 15 minutes slow walk back. And I've had my lunch and I've been sitting down a little bit knitting, and it is a lovely day today, nice and sunny, and I could be sitting out in my garden knitting, but if I try to knit when it's hot like this, my hands get sweaty and that. So anyway, I'm trying to get a little bit of this cardigan done for Tommy, because I've been doing a tutorial on my other channel for it, and I'm only getting 2 bits of it done because I've only done the back. And this is one of the sides. I have the back in this bag, I think. Yes, I have done the back for it. And I put a tutorial up for the back and how I started a little bit of the front, and I'm going to do a bit more of the tutorial to show how I do the shaping on the front and that. So I have to get a bit more of that done. But last night I started on Dagry's cardigan, this one here, and I don't know if you can see because I haven't done much of the pattern yet, but I'm doing an open moss stitch. You can see it better there. That's an open moss stitches, just knit 2, purl 2 on one row, and on the purl row it's just purl all the way across, and then on the next row, instead of knit 2, purl 2, you do purl 2, knit 2. Just reverse what you are doing, and it's quite a quick pattern. It's very easy to do, and I am using these, you know, the cakes. That's where I think that's what you call them. I've got a couple of them I've put on cones, but the rest I've just left them without the cone on, because I don't really need the cones were for my knitting machine, really, like, I don't need them. But anyway, I've noticed something when I'm knitting with these. When I'm knitting with, I have a bag like this. It's an old bag I had a Christmas present in, and my ball of wool is in it. And when I'm sitting, it's just sitting down by my feet, and I just keep pulling the wool up like this, because the ball doesn't roll around easy in the thing when I'm knitting. And I've noticed something when I started. This is the first time I've ever knit with a cake, And I don't need to pull the wool up with this because it just comes up automatically because it's coming round, and then when you're knitting it's just going round, straight round off the thing. So I'll probably be doing a lot of my wool into cakes like this, using my wool winder and wind them into cakes like this. But a little thing when I was doing this cardigan for Dagry, according to the label, it's a label here, it is pure wool, and it says for to use a 4.5mm needle. Now I did a little swatch when I first got the wool on a 4.5mm needle, and the stitches were too large. This is very fine. I don't know if you can see the difference. This is the this is double knitting patterns what I'm using, and this is double knitting in the pure wool. And I'll get it closer, you might be able to see better. But you can see that it is quite fine, the pure wool, the lavender or heather or whatever colour it's called. It is quite fine. So I did another swatch. This was a swatch to get the number of stitches and all that, to make sure I got it right. That was a swatch I did on 4mm needles, and I washed the swatch as well with the bean wool to see if it was going to thicken up when it was washed. It hasn't thickened up that much, but it probably will after a few washes, because that's what happens to wool, it starts shrinking. And I thought, well, that's okay, that stitch. But I thought to myself, I have a pair of needles, they say 4mm, but these were the first knitting needles I ever bought after the sizes in the UK were changed from, what's it on here? When they changed the UK size for a 4mm used to be 8, the size 8. And when they went to millimetre, this was the first pair of needles I ever bought. I've had these needles must be about 50 years now. They're a good pair of needles. There's none of the whatever they coat them with is worn off for anything like that, because I bought a pair. These are another pair I bought not long ago, just maybe it's about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I don't know if you can see up the top here, but the coating is already starting to wear off where the needles have been hitting each other, you know, when you go in. And they were about £2 a pair, and I bought them in Wilko. So they are going to be, the coating on them is going to be off before long, which will probably prompt me to buy some of those other ones, because I think those ones are going to keep the coating better, the zing. But anyway, I'm talking about these needles here, and I had a needle, a gauge, one of these gauge things years ago that just had the old English sizes. They were just for the old English sizes, where we had were size 8 and the size 9 was a 3.75, or size 10 was 3.25. There's some sizes in between here that they're on the United States that we don't have, like 250 and 350. But these were supposed to be 4mm. These are Millward needles. I think they were the most popular ones at the time, apart from the Aero. And that's what I bought these anyway. And I've knitted with these for years and never really measured them, because I never measured them after they started with the millimetres. I mean, I've had this little gauge a while. And out of curiosity, I told this a little while ago on some other video. I tried it in the 4mm. I don't know if you can see it. It's the light's not very good with the sunshine, and that's a 4mm there. And I tried it into that hole, and they're not 4mm. They won't go in. They won't go in at all. And the next one down is a 450, and they are quite slack in there, so these are a size between 4 and 450, about 425, which they don't do 425 in needles, but I've probably got what nobody else in the world's got, is a 4.25 pair of needles. And the other ones I've been using on here, I thought I just started knitting with it, and I've tried to measure. I know that the stitch is going to be slightly larger than the other one, but I'd rather have that because, like I say, this wool will shrink with time, so the stitch should be better if it is a little bit looser. But it seems to be knitting up okay. The stitches aren't too big or too loose looking, if you can see there. So that's what I'm going to use for these ones. I stopped using these ones because I never realised I was knitting for a lot of years and a lot of things were coming out bigger and I didn't understand why. But I know now why, because they're not 4mm, they're larger. But the millward, I have quite a few millward needles. I'm going to check them all to see whether they're any larger than the size they're actually supposed to be, because they have the old sizes on. You have some big ones would be 6 and 650, which is 3 and 4 in old English sizes, and I have 10s, which are the size 10, which is 325, and I think I have some 11, which is 3. A few other ones. I'm going to check them anyway to see whether the sizes are any bigger than what they're supposed to be in millimetres. Whether it was just a one-off accident with these ones, I don't know, but they come in handy because now I have a size in between 4mm and 450mm, which, like I said, nobody seems to do 425mm for some reason. I don't know whether it's something they can't do or... But anyway, I'm going to put that one down. I'll be doing that again tonight. So I have contacted Dagry and told her that I'm starting on her cardigan now, but I'm doing the lavender one first because it's going to be quicker, and then I'll do the Wendy one that she wanted, because I know that one's going to take a bit longer because of the cable and everything on it. But I am going to finish Tommy's little cardigan first, and then when I finish Tommy's cardigan, in the time I have to knit during the day, I'm going to start and knit some little ones, get my shop going. What I want to build up some stock first before I start on the Etsy shop, so I'm going to start doing some little ones with the, some of the balls of wool I've got. But Dagry's also asked me if I would knit a blanket for her with a lot of my waste yarn and that, so I'll be sorting some of that out for her as well. And when I was over the post office this evening, I haven't a clue what I had to do to send a parcel to America. So I saw the fella in the who I gave my parcel to that I was sending off, and I'm saying to him, do you have any information what do I have to do if I send a parcel to America? And he says, give us a little form, just stick this on the envelope, stick this on the parcel. And it's apparently some C22 form. It's a customs thing where you have to put on what's in your parcel and something like that. So anyway, he seems to know about it. I wasn't sure because he's just a little post office and a shop thing, you know, he's not a big post office, and I don't know whether I could send parcels abroad through him or whether I had to go to the big post office, which I would have to go into the nearest town, like North Shields probably for me, but he must be able to do it because he's got the information, like, which I'm happy about. Because there are things I haven't got a clue about. But anyway, that's my little bit for today, and I'm going to sit and do a little bit more of this so I can put another video up on my Sheila's Just Knitting to get a bit more of this tutorial for anybody that might be waiting for it. They'll probably think I've forgotten about it now. So thumbs up and subscribe, and bye for now, and I'll let you see where I get on to next.